What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be testing out some of the Project Rebalance combat changes. Mainly just going to test out a couple of the mage changes, just because those are going to be easily and readily available. One of the big changes, though, is that Arams now gives a damage bonus, which is nice. So let's see. Let me put that on. Maybe it's only for the full. Oh, no, there it is. So Arams actually gives a plus 1% damage bonus now, which is kind of nice. But then also Infinity gives that as well. So if you're looking for a free alternative to something pretty much as good as Arams, but not as good of attack bonus, then I would definitely go for Infinity. But one of the main things I want to check out is the combat spells. So let's take out a bunch of spells and then we will head to, let's say, sand crabs or something that has a good amount of health. Everything that we once knew as far as RuneScape is going to be very, very different, but it is going to be kind of cool. So previously, Windstrike had a maximum hit of 2, right? But now it's completely tiered, meaning you can actually hit up to an 8 with just Windstrike. Basically, what it means is if your highest skill in Magic is 5, you can only do Water Strike. If you're doing Air Strike or Water Strike, your max hit will actually be a 4. And then when you unlock Earth Strike, all 3 of the spells will be a 6. And then once you unlock Fire Strike, all 3 spells are going to be a maximum hit of 8. Now, the reason they went ahead and did this is because they changed a lot of the monsters' weaknesses to magic, and you actually get increased damage on monsters based on using their weakness. So, basically, right here is a full Google Sheet list of everything that was changed. So, if they're not updated on the wiki yet, they will be. Now, this makes the game pretty interesting because now that means that there are going to be a lot of different creatures and monsters in the game that using different spells is actually going to be beneficial. So, let's check out the list and we will determine which things we should go test. As you can see on this list here, one of the monsters that got a pretty big elemental change is or elemental weakness change is the blue dragon. So basically it got a 50% increase. Now that should be a 50% increase in accuracy and damage, meaning using magic on them is going to be very, very good. So especially low level Ironmen or just low levels in general that are safe spawning with magic, definitely worth doing. So we're gonna go check this out. Now normally water wave would have been a max hit of 18, but because I'm over 75 magic, it's actually a max hit of 20. Plus, with the 50%, it should actually be a max hit of 30, and I should hit pretty often when I'm hitting the blue dragon. So let's see how quickly we can kill these. The other thing that was changed, which is pretty cool, if anybody's ever used the Ivan's Blast method in Barrows, basically previously when you would actually click on the skill and then click on the monster, it actually got rid of the tick delay or the attack delay. Now there's no attack delay when you have autocast on, so you just attack right away, which is pretty sick. But there it is. Boom. Maximum hit of 30. That is pretty insane. And honestly, this is already pretty accurate. With with this new accuracy and damage bonus, I'm thinking things like steel dragons and the actual um higher level dragons are actually going to be a whole lot easier to kill. First of all, that time to kill was insanely fast. Like I don't even get that when I'm meleeing, which is pretty insane. So low levels, if you need dragon bones, water strike. That's all you got to do. Just get water strike. Come here, and if you're at least 13 magic, you're gonna hit at least an 8 would be your max hit, but your max hit will end up being a 12 because of the 50% increase, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, with that being said, I actually do want to go check out the steel dragons and see what kind of kill speed we have there. All right, we just made our way over to the steel dragons. Now, these have an elemental weakness to earth. So we should hit these pretty hard as well. And what you can do as well is you can put on Mystic Lore. So you're supposed to get an increase in magic damage as well here. That plus Aram should give me a 2% increase. One other big change they made is, as you can see, my prayer is not going down super fast. So when you actually use Mystic Lore or Mystic Will, basically any of the tier 1 or tier 2 increase spells, they go down at a much, much slower rate, which is pretty nice. So there's one kill. Very, very quick, very easy. Honestly, I do think that I will probably start doing some of these dragon tasks. I mean, the kill times now is just so good that I almost feel like there's no reason not to. I do think, as far as this update goes, a lot of it is more catered towards magic at the moment, so that's probably all I'm going to test in this video. But I did clarify, and Mystic Lore does give you an increase in magic strength by 1%, and Mystic Might gives you an increase by 2%. This would have been great for my corrupted grind that I already finished, but it's all good. Now what I want to go test as well is Barrows. All right, so Barrows has a elemental weakness to air, so we're gonna switch to Wind Wave. Nice thing with that is it only costs 1 blood rune. This actually might be a better method of going about killing these, to be completely honest. So let's see how this goes here. Yeah, shout out to Father Sushi. He's been talking to a lot of people in the CC. Make sure you guys join the CC. It is Improv space OSRS. There's 10 of us in there right now. Good amount of us. That was a super quick kill time. I think that's better actually than my ancient scepter, to be honest with you. The warped scepter that you get. I think that's better than that. And because the elemental weakness, Aram's actually gets hit really hard by mage as well. Yeah, I think this is the play going forward. I think we just use wave spells if you can. If you don't have wave spells, of course, just use blasts, and those will work as well. But definitely, definitely do that. This is a much better method. You're gonna use a lot less money. You're gonna use a lot less runes than if you're using Ivan's Blast or an Ancient Scepter. And you don't have to switch to mage, range, anything. Like, we're just going to walk straight through these with no issue. I do think this is something that's good for the game. Oh, and I wasn't even praying this. We need to be praying this the whole time. This is something that's pretty good for the game, especially with the prayers, because I mean, pre-level 43 prayer, like, you just don't really use these. I mean, maybe if you're doing PvP, you use some of the lower spells, but in general, you just don't use them. And if you don't have prayer pots, it's nearly impossible anyway. So this is nice to make the game feel, it makes it feel more alive. I mean, it's the same thing. The last time I casted Wind Strike, or really any wind spell for that matter, I mean, I I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you. There's never been a point. No point in casting a wind spell when I have the fire spell unlocked, you know? So it definitely makes the game feel a little bit more alive. Like, there's more things to do. So now doing dragons doesn't seem nearly as bad. Probably still a little bit longer of a task, but doesn't seem nearly as bad. Barrows is very, very quick, it seems. And you don't have to go for the underground pass route now, which is also very nice. And you'll make back a lot of these runes just by doing Barrows. Probably in everybody's best interest, though, to do strike spells, I'm thinking, because you only use 1 chaos rune, and you'll actually gain a lot more than you'll use. But yeah, let's finish up this Barrows run here and maybe test something else. Still can't get over how quick that is. There we go. One other crazy thing to come of this update is the Dragon Warhammer is now a 1 in 3K drop instead of a 1 in 5K drop. So if you are hunting for a Dragon Warhammer, now is the time to do so. It's almost a 50% increased drop rate. So very, very good odds of getting one. That's also something big that came in this update. All right, one last test that I want to run is killing the King Black Dragon. Now, it looks like it has a elemental weakness to water, 50%. So we're going to want to bring some water wave. What do we need for that? What kind of runes do we need for water wave? Let me get geared up really quick. All right, we're geared up. Let's hopefully make it over there without any issues. Now, normally I would never recommend killing King Black Dragon without ranged, because magic just doesn't seem very smart. But we're gonna go into a private layer here, because I don't feel like hopping around. When we get in here, we're just gonna drink an anti-fire, drink an anti-poison, and where is he? What? He's not spawned yet. Oh, there he is. Whoa, get out of melee range. Alright, let's see if we can actually even kill it. Okay, so after killing one, I can say I probably don't recommend using magic here. It still has a pretty crazy high magic defense, but you do hit pretty hard with magic, so it is an alternative if you don't have high range and for whatever reason you want to grind KBD, you could do that. Another monster that has low elemental weakness to water is the lava dragons up here. So those are probably pretty quick kills as well. So if you need early prayer, that's probably a good way to go as well. Also, when it comes to the mage armor, basically these mage armors all have the same damage per piece boost. So basically, Infinity Robes, Dagon High Robes, Third Age Mage Armor, Aram's Robes, Blue Moon Armor, Elder Chaos Druid Robes, and Bloodbark Armor all give 1% damage per piece. So 1% for the robe skirt, robe 1% for the robe top, and 1% for the helm. So all of those are kind of on par as far as damage goes. The only difference between each of them is going to be how much magic attack they give. So a couple of them are going to be better than the others, but there's going to be a couple more that are a little bit easier to obtain. So probably go the route for the easier to obtain ones, and then those will suit you very, very well. And then also the Elite Void Mage set bonus is increased from 2.5% to 5%. So that's a pretty big boost. And the Seer's Ring is increased from 0% to 0.5%. So very, very big changes. Makes the game, like I said, feel pretty good. Now, this Project Rebalance was heavily geared towards Magic. There were some changes as far as like some range defense changes and some the drop rate changes and some stab changes, things like that. But this really was more of an elemental weakness change. So if you're somebody that's trying to level up magic, or you just are doing a Slayer task and want to see what the elemental weakness is, like I said, the wiki looks like it has a lot of those updated now. So definitely use magic where you can. It's going to hit pretty hard, and you might actually be able to get through tasks a little bit quicker. So if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, drop a sub, and next time there's another Project Rebalance, we're going to check it out and test out some of the new changes and have some fun with it.